Let me talk to you now about, I think, was one of the central ideas of principal management activity, like leadership strategies, which is how a principal manages, right? There's one school of thought that a principal has to be something of a micromanager, actively involved in, closely coaching their staff members, having a very precise vision and being very purposeful about making sure everybody is acting in accordance with that vision. And then there is another school of thought that says that principals work best when you find the right people, support those people, and then get out of the way and let them do what they do best. Let them bring in ideas that are maybe different from what your vision is, but you trust them as professionals. Where do you kind of stand on that divide?
I'm a big believer in finding the right team. Right, you build your vision, you analyze the school that you're at, you analyze the data, and you see where you want to go. You kind of have your ideas in place of where the school needs to move to, and then you analyze your staff. You get to know your staff. You get to see who has that those leadership qualities, that expert knowledge in different subject areas. Who you find the ones who have that growth mindset, that are always willing to take constructive criticism and elevate their game. And then you build your team. And when you build your team, that is one of the most powerful things you can do as principal. We call them our go-to people, right? And when you have your team in place, you have to nurture that. You have to feed it. You have to, provide them all the support you can provide, emotionally, financially, however you need to do. Feed them often, right? There's a lot of different, strategies. You kind of direct the work. You impart in them your vision and make sure that they're on board with your vision, and it's their vision as well, because it can't just be yours. It's got to be a shared vision. And then provide them all the PDs they need to become really good at their jobs. And then you sit back. I don't want to say you disconnect completely. You empower them to make decisions. You empower them to run their areas, their departments, whether it's elementary language arts or secondary student services. You support that. You support them so that they can run these programs effectively without you micromanaging. No one likes to be micromanaged. And you do spot checks. You do weekly meetings, or every couple of weeks. Hey, let's get together. How are things going? And then that gives you an opportunity to reflect and assess if we're moving towards our goals, if we're moving towards our vision. You get to discuss certain things that maybe are hotspots that are brewing in different areas of the school, and you can address it proactively instead of waiting till it gets to the point where you have to, unfortunately, maybe write a person up or something like that. Like, that's always my last option. I try and have conversations. I try and work with my team to provide the support. Because at the end of the day, it's hard for us to find good quality teachers. So we're going to find teachers out there, or staff members, that are not sometimes the best, but they have a passion to be better. And then our goal is to support that passion and try and make them that highly effective staff member or teacher, or counselor or administrator, right? Because we're only as good as our people at the end of the day.
Absolutely.
We could have the best ideas. We could have the greatest vision. We can have an idea of where we want to take the school, but we can't do it alone. And if you don't surround yourself with a good team, you'll never get there.